Moxter is here. Oh my god, I haven't seen Moxter here for a long period of time. How you going, man? I've basically just now finished booking my trip. Excellent. Haven't quite paid for it though, because the last bit of the trip I can't pay for until I arrive in Japan. And this is how trustworthy Japanese are, that the last piece of the puzzle that I booked, which is the brand new Ferry special that we're going to show you tonight, the new tourist thing that we're going to be doing, when all the other YouTubers haven't, that we're going to be doing, because I always speak highly of the ferries. You have to book it within Japan, which we've got somebody to do that for us literally just now. But when you book it and when you upgrade the accommodation, which we've done as well, you don't pay for it until like the day of travel. So because, I don't know, because this is not advertised, I suppose, to tourists, and, you know, the Japanese people do this kind of thing, they trusted the Japanese are going to rock up on the day and pay for their booking, their reservation booking that they booked, and they're going to do it. Like, I don't know about you, I don't know about your country, Moxter, but certainly like in Australia, if people were to make a booking tomorrow, next week, next month, whatever, there's a pretty good chance that they're not going to show up and pay for it. You know what I mean? There's a pretty good chance. So I've got a Japanese friend make a booking for an Australian, and they've said, you know, like, oh yeah, my Australian mate's going to rock up there next month, and, you know, yeah, he's going to show up, he's, you know, yeah, he wants a ferry, yeah, he's going to rock up in Sapporo, yeah, and oh, look, can he upgrade to a real flash room as well? Yeah, no worries, yeah, he'll pay for it on the day, yeah, no worries at all. And the Japanese are like, yes, no worries, it's reserved for him, yes. And I said, oh no, look, here's my card details, like, take the money and that now. And they're like, no, don't worry about it, just pay on the day. Just pay 2 hours before. So yes, or you not get the reservation. I know, right? And I'm sort of like, and I said to my Japanese friend, I'm like, dude, I'm a bit concerned, like, what if I get there and I don't have my reservation, or if I don't have my room upgrade or anything, or if I don't have a room? And he's like, why would you not have your room? Or why would you not have the upgrade? Or why would you not have your reservation? It's like, because I haven't paid for it. He's like, well, as long as you rock up 2 hours before, you're going to have it. It's like, mate, I'm not ordering a cake. I'm ordering, like, a room on a ferry that's going to be booked out, because it's nearly booked out already. And you're trusting somebody you don't know. Like, you haven't asked for any information, really. You've just asked for my name. That's it, and my email address. That's it. So it's a weird world, isn't it? And I'm pretty sure that if they started to get tourists using the ferry system, I'm pretty sure it would change. Like, the airlines wouldn't say to you, let's use an example of Peach Airlines in Japan. I'm pretty sure Peach wouldn't say, no worries, you want to fly around Japan with Peach? Rock up at the airport. We booked you in. Rock up at the airport, pay on the day. That's totally fine. So the Japanese ferries are completely untouched by tourists, which they are. I mean, you know that last time I caught the ferries over there, the tourists literally don't catch them. They're the world's biggest secret. They are fantastic to go on, and it just highlights the fact that, you know, they're so trustworthy. It's great. Or at least part pay, exactly, like part pay a non-refundable deposit, you would think. But this special is absolutely fantastic, so much so that I have upgraded. I've kind of blown the budget, he says, but I've blown the budget to the extent of, because we were talking about it yesterday, we did a stream yesterday, and some Australians were here, and they were going, you know, oh my god, you know, like, the basic price to catch a ferry in Australia, where you would basically just hop on a ferry here and just sit on a seat to go from, like, Melbourne to Tasmania. Basically, I've used that as a guide, and I've got myself a pretty snazzy room on a long distance overnight ferry. So we're going to show you the ferry, we're going to show you the room, we're going to show you what's on the ferry. And again, like, if you want to book this thing, if you ever want to go on this thing, and I'm hoping that you won't abuse the system, you don't have to pay for the bloody thing until the day of travel, which is kind of crazy. Which is kind of crazy. So I have blown the budget. I've blown the budget because this is going to cost me 400 Australian dollars, but you don't have to. With this special, you don't have to. You can literally go on it for 90 Australian dollars. So convert that to American, it's like nothing. Anyway, so the special is, let's have a look at the special. In fact, let's, so that's a website that we're looking at, but let's look at the special. Yeah, here it is here. So with the special, you get the food at the restaurant, which you can see on the brochure there. This particular ferry also has a shop on board. You have to reserve the ferry within Japan by calling the telephone number, in which you see, so I got my Japanese friend to do that for us. And you can catch us from Tokyo Station or Sapporo Station, because this special is pretty good. When I caught the ferry originally in Japan all those years ago, one of my only concerns was it was a bit of a problem, especially in the wintertime, getting to the ferry terminals at some of the ports. Some of the ports were totally fine. I think it was Nagata, it was totally fine. It was like in the heart of the city, so not an issue at all. Tokyo isn't really that hard to get to, the ferry port, but the one in Hokkaido is a bit of a dog's breakfast to get to. So they've done this special kind of aimed for the tourists, but then again, they're not advertising it to the tourists, where you get the bus on each end, so the bus from Sapporo train station to the ferry, then you get the ferry, and then you get the bus at the other end from the ferry to Tokyo Station, all in a package price. You get the meal and you get accommodation, but I've upgraded. So, okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, so it's for nighttime ferry, so you get accommodation included in the price. Okay, so we're doing it from Sapporo to Tokyo. So let's go down to Sapporo to Tokyo, show you how it works. So basically, we catch the bus at 3 o'clock in the afternoon from Sapporo Station. We get the express bus. 6:55, we get to the ferry port, at which point we board the vessel, at which point we can have dinner if we want to, or whatever. We can go in the onsen, whatever. We get on the Sunflower, which we're going to show you inside the boat. We'll show you inside it. I have done videos on the Sunflower if you want to have a look at the channel, but if not, we'll show you the website. 2 o'clock the next day, we arrive outside of Tokyo, and then we catch the bus, and then the bus will take us through to Tokyo Station, which is pretty good. And all of this costs us, we're in period C at the moment, if you can see there, period C, it's going to cost us 15,000 yen, so 150 Australian dollars at the moment. So depending on the time of the year, it can cost you $99 at the moment. We're in period C, so that's $150, and that gives you the bus, the two buses and the ferry. And then with the bus and the ferry, you get sleeping quarters, which you see there in the picture at the moment, which is that nice little carpeted area, which is quite comfortable, may I say. I know it doesn't look very comfortable, but it is. If you've ever been on the sleeper train, or if you've ever slept on a tatami mat in Japan, they are super duper comfortable, and that is a nice little sleeping area. Basic plan for tourists, very, very comfortable. Plus you get, as I say, you get the food on the ferry as well, plus the use of all the facilities which we will show you on the ferry. If you do want to upgrade to all the other rooms, which we're going to show you in great detail in this stream, they're the rooms there. There is a price guide here, which is the additional price you add on top of the tickets. And of course, we're traveling in period C here. So if you want the comfort room, which is green, then it would be 3,000 yen, 11,500, so on and so forth. You getting the hint? Good, excellent. So we're going to look at the website anyway, and we're going to look at the website, we're going to look at the rooms, we're going to look at the facilities on the boat, and we're going to go through it all. Does that make sense? Good, that's what we're going to do tonight. Good. Let's blow the budget. Reservation for the corn room, where they feed you corn only. Howdy, David. Yo. Only eating corn for 3 meals a day. I ate the corn. Last time I did the road trip in Japan, I don't know if I took a video. I think I took photos for you, Mock. So we bought the corn at the roadhouse along the way. And oh my God, it was ever so good. I think Mad Hatter bought the corn as well. It was really, really good. So I didn't blow the budget. But to give you an idea, I went to originally book the ferry myself today without that special, okay? Just the ferry, not the buses. And for me to book the ferry in a room without a window, it would have cost me 400 Australian dollars for a room without the window, without the buses, and without food, okay? With the buses, with a more deluxe room, which I'll show you, with a window, and with the food, it cost me $400. So it cost me the same, which I think is pretty good. But again, if you wanted to just do the tourist thing, where you got the tatami mat, all the features on the boat, which we're going to show you, and the 2 buses, it would cost you $150, which I think is a ripper deal, because again, you've got to keep remembering that's a night's accommodation that you're not paying for in a hotel, and again, it's an experience that you're not going to get. You're going to get beautiful views of the sun coming up. You're going to get and I've done this boat before. That's the thing. I've done this boat before. So you're going to get beautiful views of Japan as you follow the coastline down. You are going to see Fukushima, for example. You're going to see the power plant. It's like bang right there in front of you. You're going to see where the tsunami came in, and the power plant's still there. So you're going to see all of that directly in front of you. You're going to see all that beautiful coastline as you go along, and of course, as I say, you're going to see the sun coming up and everything along the way. It's an experience to behold, and it is certainly worth $150 on its own. But as I say, the $150, you're getting the 2 buses, you're getting your food, and you're getting the ferry ride. It's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. Would you prefer to be in Namba in Osaka and battling the tourist crowds and all that sort of crap and just doing that touristy thing, or would you prefer to pay $150 and basically getting 2 days, because you start basically at 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 2 o'clock the next day of something that's just what I class as extraordinary. So anyway, let's have a look at the website and have a look in the boat. He says, I'll try check your chat every now and again. It's just I can't have the chat open while we're looking at the website. So that's a boat there, or the ferry there. Beautiful ferry. This ferry is so modern. As I say, I've been on this ferry before. So this, of course, is not a JR ferry. This is one of the privately owned ferries. Very modern ferry in the fleet. And you got the run of the ship. There's lots of stuff going on this ferry, I tell you. Spotlessly clean. And I caught it in the winter, of course. So when I left Sapporo, the decks were covered in snow. It was just spectacular. And then as we came away, not from Sapporo, from Hokkaido. So as we came away from Hokkaido, you saw all the mountains and they covered in snow. It was just extraordinary. And then as we came down the coastline, of course, the snow started to melt, and we got to see, the summer and that. It was fantastic. But we're going to have a look at the cabins. We're going to look at the restaurant. We're going to look at the shops. We're going to look at the facilities. We're literally going to look through all the website and show you what this tanker has to offer. This is better. Like, I am kidding you not, ladies and gentlemen. If you live in Australia, you might know of like P&O. This is better than a P&O cruise. P&O is just shit. I'm sorry. P&O is absolutely shit compared to this. This is extraordinary. And again, this is $150. This is more expensive. This is like the expensive time of the year. This is $150. This is category C. If you go out of peak season, it will cost you like $99. You know, $99, crazy. Anyway, let's go back to the website. All right, we don't need to look at the fares because we're going on the special. They got a couple of different boats depending on where you go in Japan. So this is the special that we were talking about, the ferry and express bus package. You can see, you can go to Yotaru, and oh my god, you do it the other way around as well. Of course, you can go Tokyo up to Hokkaido. Anyway, we don't need to see that. We've seen that before. Let's look at some pictures. Onboard facilities. Here we go. Right, we want to look at the evening ferry. Let's start with the cabins, ladies and gentlemen. The accommodation features. It is a non-smoking ferry, which is good. Okay, the suites. Let's start with the deluxe suite. In the deluxe suite, we have a bath, we have toilets, and we have a private balcony. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That is a ferry. That is a ferry. When I say to you all the time, I'm catching a ferry, people picture a ferry being something completely different to what it is in Japan. Look at that. Isn't that extraordinary? What a beautiful, beautiful way to travel. Now, that room, if you were catching that room on this particular boat, would cost you about 700 Australian dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, about 700 Australian dollars. Depending on the time of year, of course. Extraordinary, is it not? Look at that. 2-person. Maximum 3. 1 room, of course. 37.91 meters square with a balcony, of course. 2 beds. And a sofa bed. There we go. Private balcony, bath, toilet, TV, and refrigerator. You get your pajamas. Well, everywhere in Japan, of course, you get your pajamas. Bath towel, face cloth, bath mat, slippers, electric kettle, hairdryer, amenities. Body towel, shampoo, conditioner, body soap, toothbrush set, wet towel, cotton swab, razors, hairbrush, botanical plants based, what? Carbonated bath tablets, well there you go. Portable toilet cleaner. You'd hope it'd be portable, otherwise you couldn't get it to the toilet. Original drip coffee and tea. Oh my god, look at the stuff you get. You get Sapporo classic beer in the can, green tea, and mineral water. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Oh my goodness. Travel in luxury, would you not? Then coming down to premium. Premium, you get bath, toilet, and your private balcony as well. A relaxing space to enjoy your cruise in private. Watch the seascape from your private balcony. And again, we're talking a ferry here. This is better than a P&O cruise, ladies and gentlemen. I've been on a P&O cruise and this is better. Smart toilets in every room to squirt every orifice that you have. 2 beds again. And again, you get all the facilities, pajamas, bath towel, all that sort of stuff. Drip coffee, yada, 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 yada. Coming down, bath and toilet premium, barrier-free. Barrier-free cabins are great for people using wheelchairs. So there you go, somebody like Sam. This would be the room for you, Sam. Reservations can only be made via the call centre. That would be because it's a wheelchair friendly room to make sure that people don't book it if if you don't need a room like this. So it's good that they have rooms like this that do cater for people with wheelchairs or walking frames. You know, some elderly people. Look at that! How wonderful is that? That's fantastic for people with disabilities. That's fantastic. And we've got more rooms to show you, but let's come back here for a second so I can check the chats. The rooms, they do continue because we've got some interesting rooms coming up. Any chats? There's no chats. Come on, people, chat. Because the interesting rooms are coming up. There's some rooms coming up that's really going to bedazzle you. You're going to go, hang on a second. what's going on here. So, as of course we're going down in class, from top class going down now. But how's that if you have a disability, if you're in a wheelchair, walking frame or something like that, that they've catered for you with specific rooms like that. But that very first room, that very first deluxe room that you saw, to think that that is, you know, roughly, as I say, depending on time of year, $700. I think that's worth $700. I don't know if you think it's worth $700. I think it certainly well is, for that lap of luxury. If you're, I don't know, if you're going over for a honeymoon or that's something special, it certainly doesn't say Ferry to me. And if you're talking something like, especially in Australia, the Spirit of Tasmania, if you got the most deluxe room in the Spirit of Tasmania, it certainly wouldn't be anything like that I can think of. I don't know. Moxter's saying, yo, thank you. Anything else in yo? Anything else anyone want to say before we go back to the website? No? Excellent. Good. We've always got the conversation going on here. I want to go on this ferry. Bella can go on this ferry, ladies and gentlemen. Bella can go on this ferry. We are going to be going into the doggy section very soon. That's what we're going to go do. Because there are dog rooms on this particular ferry. So let's continue on our room tour. And we're coming up to the room that I have booked today. This is the room I booked. The Superior Ocean View Japanese Western style room. It has a shower and toilet. So this is the room I have booked today. 4-person private room. Fully equipped with a shower, a toilet, making this ideal way for traveller with friends. But I'll be in it all by my lonesome. But I got this room because it's got a window. That's what I have. I've got that because it's got a window. And it's got a smart toilet again to... is that a smart toilet? It's got a toilet anyway. And that's a room there. It's got people in it as well. I have 3 Asian people in my room. Comes with the room. 4-person room. There's 18 rooms. 13.35 meters square. There's 2 beds in the room. Shower and toilet, unit, TV, and refrigerator. I get pajamas, I get bath towel, face cloth, bath mat, slippers, electric kettle, hairdryer, amenities, bath towel, shampoo, conditioner, body soap, toothbrush set, wet towel, cotton swab, tea. That's what I get. Pretty good room. Got the little window there. And this is a Japanese style room. I wanted this room, but it had sold out, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Superior Ocean View Japanese style room. So basically the same size, but the Japanese style sold out already. But pretty cool, sleeping on the tatami mat. I know what you most probably think, if you've, and again, like when I showed you the image before, the pictures before, of the free accommodation you got, and you most probably think, oh, sleeping on the floor, why do I want to do that? Until you've been to Japan and slept on the floor on the tatami mat, you don't understand how comfortable it is. It's ridiculously comfortable. It's the best night's sleep you'll ever have. So this is a Japanese style room. They always sell out so quick. They are so ridiculously comfortable. And this is the Superior inside room without a window, but it looks like it's got a window. So before I got the special, this was the room I was going to book at the same price without the buses if I would have booked it online without the special, if that makes sense. So this room has no window, but you can still, it's very clean, it's very big, very nice. Got the fake window there. I dare say that's potentially a light. There we go. Same picture of the toilet. I think they've used the same picture of the toilet for every room. But very clean. And we'll look at more rooms in a second. I'll just check to see if we have any chats going on before we continue. We have some chat. Excellent. Free friends, yes. Moxa says, sign me up. They're bigger than they're bigger than most Japanese rooms. Yes. With the ferries, if you with the ferries, so you don't get seasick, you can actually say to them, put me in a place in the ferry where I won't get seasick, because depending on where you are in a boat, in case you didn't know, it actually can depend on if you do suffer from seasickness, if you're going to suffer seasickness. So, for example, cruise ships, at the front of the boat where they have like the stage and entertainment stuff and that going on, you can get more seasick at the front. I never knew that. So anyway, when I went on one of the ferries to start with, like ages ago, I was in part of the boat and it was a bit, and I just mentioned it to them. I said, "Oh, I'm just feeling," and they put me in a different part of the boat. So like literally, when you hop on the ferries, you just say to them, I don't know how my stomach's going to go with the ocean, with the seasickness. But these modern boats, like this one here, is so modern. It's got so many stabilizers and everything on it that you don't even know you're moving. You don't even hear the rumbling of the motor on this particular one. Some of the older ferries I went on, especially the JR ones, where you were in the boat, sometimes you could hear the rumbling of the motor. This one here, the Sunflower, you don't even know. You don't even know you're moving, to tell you the truth. It is so modern. The bigger, the more Japanese rooms. Yeah, Moxa says, sign me up. You and Moxa should go. You could get a little bit of ocean motion happening. You know what I'm saying? No strange APA hotel literature. I've never seen any strange APA hotel literature. Is there? I don't wear Japanese. I don't wear Japanese pajamas. No, I don't wear them. They're like, I don't know. Did they starch them or something? There's something going on there. Yeah, I'm not a. Yeah, no, I don't wear them. Let's go back to the rooms. There's more rooms. There's more rooms on this ferry. Oh my god, there's so many rooms on these ferries. And then we haven't even looked at the facilities yet. Oh my god. Here we go. With pet ocean view. This is a pet room. If you take your dog, your cat, your kangaroo, your aardvark, your, I don't know, echidna, your pet monkey, your trouser snake, whatever. This is the room for you, ladies and gentlemen. You can have your pet in this room. Crazy. Pet ocean view room. And you get a shower and toilet, and it accommodates your pet. How fantastic is that? So you can see that the lounge in there is non-material. It's whatever, PVC, whatever it is. Great for the pet. Oh my god, look at that. You've got the prams in there for your pet as well, so you can take them for a walk. There's a playground, by the way, on the deck. I don't know if they'll show it on this website. There's a playground on the upper deck for your animals. Crazy. Yep. Crazy. You get pet supplies in the room. There we go. How crazy is that? Or you can get a Japanese style pet room as well. I nearly booked this room. I actually really wanted this room, but it had been booked out. These rooms have been booked out as well, but I really wanted this room. I liked the look of this room. the Japanese style pet room. How cool is this? How very, very cool. And of course you got the doggy pram there as well. How sensational. And of course when I went on the Japanese ferries last time, there were dogs on the Japanese ferry. If you never saw the video, do check out my channel, because I walked in one of the rooms and there was a dog in there. Scared the living bejeebies out of me, it did. And then there's a pet inside room. Crazy, hey? Like, it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And spotlessly clean. Spotlessly clean. Now, and also, by the way, if you're allergic to pet hair or pets, as some people are, the pet rooms are at a completely different end of the ship. A completely different end. And I don't sort of mean like there's a normal room, there's a normal room, there's a normal room, then there's a pet room. It's like normal rooms and then a completely void of the boat. Completely void of the boat, where there's like nothing. You walk down corridors and everything. And then there's a pet room. So there's like a complete isolation barrier. So that if you are allergic to pets or for some strange, God-known reason, it's not going to affect you whatsoever. Planned so well. You got the comfort room, which is the capsule motels. These are really, really cheap. Now, to go in the capsule motel, to upgrade to one of these, I think it was like an extra $60 or something on top of the fare. It provides a bed with a TV, so you get the TV inside your capsule. You get electrical outlets inside your capsule. And of course, they got blinds on them, so you could just close the blinds to get yourself some privacy. There's the TV. They're very clean, of course. Just filled with Japanese people, so very quiet. You're not getting tourists on these things, trust me. You don't get tourists on these. Very, very quiet. Shared bathroom with this, so... But the shared bathroom will be nice and clean. TV, luggage space, quilt, pillow, slippers. Nice. And then the transit. So this is the one you get for free with the package. And again, you got the mat there. The tatami mat. You get a mattress there, as you see. You can pull your mattress out, and you got a doona. All seats are equipped with electrical outlets as well. There you go. So you can see the mattress is pulled out there. Oh, look, you've got the blinds that you can pull on each side of your mattress as well. That's excellent. That's actually not too bad, is it? The only problem I have with that is if you get a snorer. So always take a set of headphones with you. And then little thing of there, passengers boarding with pets. We'll come back. We'll look more of the boat in a second. I'll check your messages. How good is that? The APA owner has some strange views. How many hours are you on? You're basically on for 24 hours. So you board at 3 o'clock, you're off at 2 o'clock. Okay, David, see you later. Hey, Class 38. Class 38, I'll be going on first class bullet train in Korea. You might be interested in that, so no doubt I'll film that. I'll be going, yeah, just thought I'd tell you that. And no doubt I'll do trainee stuff as well in Japan. I don't know. But, yeah, so how good are those rooms? Even the free room, the one at the end there, isn't it good for free, I think, with the blinds that go on each side of your mattress? That's pretty good, I think. Am I selling you? Am I selling you the ferry, ladies and gentlemen? Am I selling you the ferry? Before we go back to the ferry facilities, let me just find the facilities. So this is booked. This is what's happening. This is what we're doing. Okay. No, not a Korea channel. This is a Japanese channel. So the Korean stuff will not be on this website. The Korean stuff is going to be on, will not be on the YouTube. It'll be on the website. And I'm just going to Korea because when I was potentially going to die, and in hospital with the brain aneurysm and the operation and everything, my very good friend Victor, you might have remembered Victor from the live streams and that we did, my old housemate. Victor was just such a good friend. He was very supportive and he'd ring me every day, and he was just really supportive during the whole, horrible time that I was going through. So I said to him if I lived and got through it, through my brain operation and that I would go over and visit him. I said to him the very first thing I would do as soon as the doctor gave me the all clear is I would go over and visit him, and so that's what I'm doing. That's the whole idea of this trip, and so going over to Korea, never been there before, and it's really to see Victor. But hey, as we're going there, we'll do some things in Korea. We'll go to the DMZ, so in other words, North Korea border. We'll go there. We'll go on the bullet train over there and check it out. We'll do some stuff in Busan, and then of course, because we're so close to Japan, we might as well go over to Japan, and we're going to do that via ferry. And then we're going to do some other stuff over there as well. Why not? So yeah, that's really the whole purpose of this trip, just to go over there and see Victor and thank Victor for, the support he gave me, because, I never get scared in life, and I never get emotional, I never cry. This past month, I was a wreck. I was crying every day, and I thought my life was over. My life could have been over. He was just amazing. He was just absolutely amazing, because at any time I could have died, basically. They had to stabilize me before they could operate on me. It was so bad, and it was just yeah. So that's the reason why I'm going, and I was going to fly straight to Busan where he is, but then I heard they have bullet trains there, and it was like, dude, why would I not go on the frigging bullet train? Yeah. So so I thought, well, I'll fly to Seoul, and then I can do the bullet train, going first class on the bullet train. So why not? So many different ferry companies. There are so many different ferry companies. There are absolutely. There's so many different ferry companies. But they're competitive with one another. They kind of also do go slightly different places as well. So even from Korea, even though there's a lot of ferry companies going from Korea, they all go to slightly different places. So it depends where you want to go. So coming from Korea, I had several choices in ferries. The one I caught to Hakata, I chose that simply because it was the closest one to an airport. That's the reason why I picked the one I picked. Where the other ones were either further from an airport or more expensive or whatever. So that's why I picked that one, and that was a JR ferry. So it really depends on, really what fits in with the rest of your itinerary, I would say. And it was the plane. The plane was a clincher for me. There was a slightly better ferry, I would say, from Korea that I wanted to catch, but the airport was too far away. So, that's why. Good evening, Ivan. Okay, so you missed all the rooms, Ivan. Unfortunately, can't show you the rooms. You're going to have to go back and watch the stream. They will blow you away. Oh my God. How good were the frigging rooms, ladies and gentlemen? Now, and remember, we're looking at a ferry here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the free food we're going to get on the ferry. And let's look at the shitty little restaurant they would have on a ferry. Now, again, if you're in Australia, think Spirit of Tasmania ferry. Think Spirit of Tasmania food options, okay? I'm saying that because get ready for this. Here we go. So this is the restaurant on the Sunflower. And you get a buffet-style meal on this particular tanker. How clean and beautiful is this? And again, I've been on this ferry. If you haven't seen the video, do check it out. I went on this before COVID. In fact, COVID had just hit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the complimentary free meal that you get. How disgraceful. How are you supposed to live on something like that? I mean, look at it. Disgraceful. How are you... Oh, please. I mean, come on. I don't know how they could expect anybody to eat such things. Yes, look at them smiling. How fake is that? They can't be smiling at that food. It's staged, I tell you, staged. No. It's absolutely real, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely real. And that is how busy the boat was when I was on the boat last time. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. And of course, you can order additional stuff and bits and pieces there. So, for example, if you wanted a steak cooked a certain way, or bits and pieces. Of course, ocean views. The breakfast, because you get breakfast included as well, which is scrumdiddlyumptious. And yeah, so we got anything scrolling down here? Buffet. And if you're just going, these prices are if you just go on there without getting the special that I showed you. So if you just book a ticket generally without the ferry bus special. But you can see even generally, if you're just paying, the prices are very good. So adult, 2,300 yen. The drink bar is included in the buffet for 2,300 yen. That's really, really good, isn't it? That's ridiculously good. Beer, wine, and alcohol is sold in the restaurant. Menu prices and delivery method is set to change. Breakfast is 1,400 yen. Again, if you get the special, it's included. And if you want to get the two set menu, which is dinner and breakfast, 3,200 yen. And it's a buffet, so you can just go back and eat as much as you like. Scrumdiddlyumptious as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. I forgot the price you paid. Okay, the food alone mean I'm going. The food that last time I went on that boat, I never got food on that boat. I only bought snacks. I only had snacks on that boat. The previous boat that I went on, which was a JR boat, the meal was really cheap. The meal I got on the JR boat was a lot cheaper. I think it was like 500 yen or 600 yen or something for the seto. So that was really cheap, but it wasn't a meal like that. That is a all you can eat buffet type thing. But again, that price is if you book the ferry without the special. The thing we're talking about tonight, of course, is the special where you get the bus, the room, the bus, and the food. So that's the difference. I'm going to Japan next month. Probably going to go to Korea next. Oh my god, this looks so good. Why don't you go to Korea while you're in Japan? Because it's only... like if you want to fly to Korea, you can fly to Korea for like 45 Australian dollars from Japan. That's if you're hanging around Osaka, though we're telling you not to hang around Osaka, because why do you want to hang around Osaka? Or you can catch a ferry, because like we are, type thing. This ferry that we're showing you tonight, they have the special on at the moment, where you can go Tokyo to Hokkaido or Hokkaido to Tokyo for it's this time of year for 150 Australian dollars. Don't know where you are in the world. You were here the other day. I've forgotten where you were in the world. And it includes the bus. So the bus from Sapporo Station to the ferry, then the ferry with accommodation, with food, and then the bus from the ferry to Tokyo Station for like $150. Fantastic. And it includes your accommodation, as I say. It's just extraordinary. And I've done the ferry before. They had a special before that they don't have now. This is their new special. It's terrific. And there's more facilities on the ferry. And again, no tourists catch the ferry. It's only locals. It was the best thing I ever did was catch a ferry around Japan. I caught so many ferries around Japan. I did the whole country on the ferries, and it was just amazing because they all travel at night, so you're not missing out on anything. You've had your evening meal or whatever in whatever city you are. Then you hop on the ferry, and then you've got the entertainment on the ferry, music and cinema and whatever. Or you go up to the deck with your drink and watch the stars and the coastline and all the lights. And it's just amazing. Then you go into the piano bar while the pianist is playing and have a drink and a cake. And it's just fantastic. You go to sleep, you wake up, you watch the sun come up, you have breakfast, you pull into a dock. And then you go look at the next town. It's the best way to get around. It's just so good. And of course, it includes all your accommodation, as I say. And it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. And why more people don't do it or more people don't talk about it, I really don't know. Let's look at more things on this tanker. I shouldn't call it a tanker. It's not. You got information on there. This information, like literally, they can plan your whole Japan itinerary on that thing. They are a full tourist information center on there. You can say to them, okay, when I get to Tokyo, how am I going to get here? What am I going to do? What's your recommendations? They will give you brochures. They will give you maps. They will give you ideas. They are just brilliant. And they're multilingual, so they'll speak English, Korean, anything you want. That information center is fantastic. And because there's no tourists on board, that's how busy it is there. So you will have 100% of their attention and you can be with them for hours on end and ask them any question you like. You can get them to plan your whole day, your whole week, your whole month, your whole year if you like. They'll do bookings for you as well if you want them to book hotels or whatever you want. Or if you want them to book other ferries or literally plan an itinerary. You can say to them, look, I'm going to be in port for a day or a week or something, and they'll plan everything for you at this information counter. Anything at all. Fantastic. So, and they got the opening hours there, which is fantastic. And coming down here, you have the onsen. Yes, you have the onsen, ladies and gentlemen. You have a ladies' onsen and you have a man's onsen. It wouldn't be Japan without an onsen. We love an onsen and a sauna. Beautifully clean, beautifully hot. The ladies and the man's onsen. There is nothing like sitting in that onsen and looking out that window at the ocean as you casually go past Fukushima power plant, which was destroyed by the tsunami. It is something to behold, I've got to tell you. It is the most surreal thing you can do in life. You can't see out the window in this picture, but like in real life, you can see out that window. It is the most surreal thing you can do in life. Down here, you got the promenade. Beautiful promenade with the seats there. Of course, have a little coffee there if you wish. Very modern. As I said, I loved going on this boat. It was just so modern. It was just so clean. Grab a book. Just sit back. Relax. Touch screens tell you everything about the boat. These girls do not come with the touch screens. They're not just standing there waiting to press the buttons for you. They are not optional extras. But yeah, you just sit there and just watch the world go by. That whole wall, again, not very good photos because in real life, all of those windows were perfectly clean, and it was just like a wall of, well, clean windows, basically. So you just looked out at literally the whole ocean, and it was just stunning. It was, any worry you had in the world was gone just from this stunning view, and just sitting there on this boat that literally was not moving, and just the rippling waves outside the window. It was just stunning. You got the kiddie land, the children's playground, if you take children with you. And they do have staff as well that go in there and entertain the children as well. Yes, that was me. The baby room, if you have a baby, or if you want to, you never know. If you're in one of those deluxe rooms, you could make a baby and then go back 9 months later, assuming it's full term, and then use the baby room. Game zone, if you want to play games. They are not pokey machines. They're not gambling machines, so don't think you're going on there to gamble. That's not going to happen. They look like gambling machines, but you can't win money. It doesn't work like that. So basically, you're just putting money in to win nothing. So, you're not going to be rich from these machines. But, they're only like, I think they were like 100 yen. And you got, for 100 yen, I think you got like 10 goes or something. So, good to waste a little bit of time. And here it is on the deck, because you saw the doggy rooms, and I mentioned there was a playground upstairs for the dogs. So you got the dog room. You can take the dog and get your own special bedroom, and that for the dogs. And you can take them, and there's the water playground for them, or you can bathe them up there. And there's the poo-poo box. And yeah, little run around play area on the deck, which is pretty cool. And if you don't want them in your room, there's a storage place, and you can wash them. You can wash your doggy. Lots of doggies go on the boat. Lots of doggies. Lockers. If you want to lock away some valuables, though you don't need to because there are only Japanese on here. Hot water facilities, if you got like cup noodles, or you want to microwave some food or make a coffee yourself. If you got a private room, you don't need this. So this is basically if you're in steerage. If you do smoke, there is a smoking room. You can dress up in the captain's uniform, which I did. So that's a captain's uniform there. You can see in the picture, and you can have your photo. You can take your photo there and look like a real twat, as I did. There's massage chairs. You can kind of see them over there. They are actual massage chairs. There we go. I didn't look like them in my photo because I'm a man. That's a deck. You go up to the deck. Some magic up there in the deck. Those people went up to the deck. They've been stuck up there since 1985. No. It's terrific up there on the deck, I've got to say. When I was up there, if you look at my videos from the years back when I went on that boat, when we were leaving port, the world's biggest seagulls were following us for like an hour. There was like 20 or 30 seagulls. And they were like chasing us in the boat, and it was absolutely magnificent. Oh my God. But yeah, quite fantastic. Let's go back and see if anyone's chatting. Okay, what's going on here? And then we'll see what else is on the website. So we are going on that. Would you ever know you're on a ship? Sam, I just showed the disabled room, in fact. I'll try find it again to show you before we keep looking at the boat. So we're going on that. We're booked on that. We're booked in a pretty cool room. as such, and I'll find the room, Sam, that you might be interested in, onboard facilities, before we look at the rest. And in fact, before I show the room that Sam was going in, again, this is a Ferry. Now, this is the most expensive room. This is going to cost you like 700 Australian dollars, ladies and gentlemen. But have a look at this for 700 Australian dollars. Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. 700 Australian dollars gets you this little baby. How beautiful is this room? Certain times of the year, it's actually cheaper. And you get a bath with it as well. Like, hello, thank you very much. The room for Sam is this room here. This is a barrier-free room designed for wheelchairs. There you go, passengers using wheelchairs, Sam. Which is pretty cool. And it has the accessibility stuff and that going on in the bathroom. That's pretty cool, Sam. So there you go. If you ever go back to Japan, you'll have to consider doing that in the Ferry. And the room I got is this room here, which is a superior ocean view Japanese Western style room. And I got this room because complimentary, I got 3 Japanese people in my room. 3 Japanesian people. Yes. Don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I got 3 of them. So there we go. They come complimentary with the room. But if I ever... I did want this room, but unfortunately it was booked out, the Japanesium style room. But as we were showing before, they do have dog rooms. You could have your dog in there, or your dog in here, the Japanese room. I would have loved that room. That's quite fantastic, isn't it? Fantastical, he says, as we come back to the chat, as I look for more features on the boat. So that, to go on that boat, again, it's a super special at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. You get the bus from Sapporo train station to the ferry, which is like a 2-hour trip, and you get to stop at one of these amazing road houses on the way, truck stops on the way. And trust me, these truck stops in the middle of nowhere are fantastic. Oh my god, they're amazing. Mad Hatter stopped at one with us when we were in Hokkaido last time. They are just sensational because Jason took us for a drive and we stopped at one. They are just crazy. So you get a 2-hour like bus ride, and then you get on the ferry. When you get on the ferry, you get food, and we just had a look at the food. So you get the food included. You get your accommodation included. You get, and then the next day you get the bus ride to Tokyo Station, right? All for this time of year, because it's category C this time of year, 150 Australian dollars. That is a bargain and a half. Now, I've upgraded to the room which I showed you, so it's costing me $400 because I've upgraded to a room with the window and the 3 Japanesian people in the room. But bargain, bargain, bargain. You couldn't do that. For example, the Spirit of Tasmania in Australia, you would not get the quality as you get on that particular boat that I'm showing you tonight, with the facilities that I'm showing you on tonight. It's just a no-brainer. It's just an absolute no-brainer. You're getting 24 hours of stuff. It's just a no-brainer. Just absolutely no-brainer. 24 hours worth of entertainment and luxury and food and everything, you know. And if you go for the basic package of $150, 24 hours, what a bargain it is. Where's the port you're leaving from? It is, I'll show you in a minute. Now that's a Queen Victoria cruise ship cabin. Yes. Did we end up getting the $700 room? No, because the itinerary changed, and I'll go through the itinerary in a second with you. Yeah, so you get the 2 bus rides with a stop on the way, which is pretty good. Japan does luxury cheap, yes. So let me just bring up the... Okay. Okay, so Sapporo Station, and we get off at Tamakome Ferry Terminal. There you go, figure that out. So we're on the bus from 3 o'clock till basically 5 o'clock, and then halfway on that journey we just stop at a road stop along the way, just for a snack, which is cool. And basically, if you're wondering where the ferry terminal is, if you're heading towards New Chosei Airport, the airport that you go to for Sapporo, if you just keep going in a straight line, basically, until you hit the coast, that's where the ferry terminal is. So basically, when I caught the ferry originally before COVID, that was the only complaint I had with the whole ferry experience, and that was it was quite hard to get to some of these ferry terminals. That there was no public transport link to them. Well, they've fixed it with this particular special. So there you go, they listened to me, which is great. I made a difference in the world of public transport. I made a difference. What can I say? You got to try this one day. Well, you should, because again, you don't really lose any. You lose a bit of a day, Like, for example, we're boarding the bus at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you lose a bit of a day. But we're boarding the bus at 3 o'clock at Sapporo Station. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not boarding the bus at 3 o'clock in the middle of nowhere, so you've got to leave Sapporo at 10 o'clock to get there by. You know what I mean? So you're not really losing much of a day, but the experience you get is just wonderful. And I've been on this boat before. I've been on this ferry before. And, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And, of course, you get the food. You've got the onsen on there, as mentioned. You've seen the room I'm going in. You've seen the facilities on the boat. What else can I show you on the boat? Introduction to on-board facilities. What's here? I don't know if there's anything else I could show you. Oh yeah, I can show you this. Oh yeah, I can show you this. Oh yeah, I can show you this. Oh yep. Good. Okay. Yep. So there's a couple more little areas. Some additional public spaces that have entered into service as of 2025. So we already showed you the onsens and that on the ferries. Well, there's more. They've added more onto the ferries. So let's have a look at them. So there we go. We've got more onsens going on here, which is nice. And the sauna. So another sauna. So they must have done this on another deck as well, which is nice. And again, pretty cool that you can look at the windows. What's this? Another area on the promenade. It's pretty cool, just to chill at. And then a gym with 2 exercise bikes. Actually, there is a better gym on this boat than 2 exercise bikes. So I'm not quite sure why they just showed 2 exercise bikes. But there was treadmills and a rower and something else. So I'm not quite sure why they just showed that. You can use it for free. You can use a fitness machine to move your body. There we go. And another kid space. So there we go. And a Japanese environment space. This space is available for free. Please take off your shoes. This space where you could stretch your legs and relax. Okay. And a new dog run area. Okay. So there you go. That's new. And a new smoking area. And coin lockers. Okay, so there we go. That's some new stuff. I'm just looking at Ferry route page on Japan Guide website. Diddy Ferry, Diddy do room where you do the doggy. Japan. Well, I'm looking at the Ferry route page on Japan Guide website. I don't go to the Japan Guide website because I find it more confusing. It depends. I mean, where do you want to go? Well, where are you? Where? Let me bring up a Japan Ferry route map. Let me see if I can bring up a Japan Ferry route map. That's a good one. I like that one. My internet is so slow. That's a good map. Alright, let's oh, I can't do that. Let's bring that down again. Can I make it smaller? Oh my god. Okay, I can do that. There we go. There's a have I got that on the screen? I have. There you go. There's a good little Japan Ferry map for you. So it depends where you want to go. Depends where you want to go. That would be the most detailed map. The only ones that aren't on there are the ones going to Korea. And of course, not all of them are overnight ferries. Like the shorter routes are not overnight ferries. So the longer routes are basically the longer routes. The longer routes are the overnight ones, and the shorter routes are not. If you don't want to travel to a ferry terminal, Nagoya is pretty good, pretty easy to get to. Nagoya ferry station is good to get to without too much hassle. So Nagoya to Sendai is kind of sort of okay. And then of course Tomakomai. Going the other way, Otaru is pretty easy to get to. Otaru is not too bad. Otaru to Niigata is not too bad. Niigata is a little bit of a, but not too bad. But Otaru is kind of easy. I caught the train and then walked to the Otaru ferry terminal. Bit of an issue in winter, but in summer it's a breeze, so that's a pretty good option. And then if you are looking at the other good option is where I'm going to, which is yeah. Where am I going? Fukuoka. It's pretty easy to get to. And that's YouTube. There we go. Randomly just showing you YouTube. There we go. And that's me again. It depends. The newest ferry is run by Sunflower. They're the newest ferry. Are they the best ferry? It depends, because, for example, some of the older ferries look older, and they certainly feel older, but they've got facilities on it that are more, cool. You know what I mean? Like, as I say, the older ferries have cinemas on them, have piano bars on them. The newer ferry doesn't have a piano bar or a cinema on it. So it really kind of like depends. What you can be assured of is they're all very clean. That's a given. They're all very clean. The older ferries are a bit more rougher, you know, than the newer ferry. The newer ferry is, of course, smoother. The older ferry, if you get a more deluxe room, it's going to be a more deluxe room. There will be like a 1970s room, but it will look like new because that's Japan. You know, like if you stay in a hotel in Sendai, for example, you know, at a Smile Hotel. Do you know Smile Hotel? If you stay at a Smile Hotel, it's like you've gone back in time. So if you get an older ferry, it'll be like going in a Smile Hotel, but it'll kind of look new. That's what an older ferry's like. Whereas if you go on the Sunflower, as we've just shown you tonight, it's like modern and new. But you may not like the modern and new. Some people might think it's a bit sterile. So it really depends what you want. It really depends what you want to get out of it. What I like about the whole ferry thing is, especially if you're going to Japan for a lengthy period of time, which you do, because you travel a lot in Japan and you're there for a period of time and you're quite busy and, you know, you do go to Osaka and that as well, is if you just spend a night on the ferry, it just gives you that breathing space. It gives your brain time to have a rest. And you don't get bored on them. Trust me, you don't get bored on them because you're only on them for one night. So honestly, it doesn't really matter if you catch the old ferry company, the old ferry or the new ferry, because it's a new experience for you anyway, and you'll just love it. And it will just give your brain enough time to just chill and just, you know. So I honestly really wouldn't think too much about, do I get an older company or do I get an old ferry or a new ferry if it was just for one night. If you're going on it for a couple of nights, then yeah, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so if you picture a Smile Hotel, would be more like the JR long distance overnight ferries. But as I say, it's got a charm because then you go into the theatre, for example. I don't know if you watch my videos, but I did 3 or 4 videos on the Japan ferry. So you would have seen the old ferries and the new ferries because I showed the JR ferries that had the piano bars, and I showed the JR ferries that had the old cinemas in it, and I showed the JR ferries that had the entertainment and that in them. And like, they've got the charm. The rooms might have been older, but it was pretty cool to be in a old cinema in a boat, and there was only like 3 people in the cinema. It was really funny. But you know, you got these red velvet chairs, wooden chairs type thing on this old ferry. It was charming. It was great. It was relaxing, you know. And as I say, they all achieved the goal. You go up to the deck in the middle of the night and you see the moon and the stars, and you look over the boat, and the only thing you see is the white water being churned up by the side of the boat, and that it's all pretty cool. So you know, it is what it is. The only reason why I'm banging on about the Sunflower is I think this special is a really good special. But you know, either way, I think the ferry generally is a pretty good deal, no matter what you do. Well, if you want a 24-hour ferry, then you go on the long one. The longest ferry I went on was, I'll have to bring up the map to remember which was the longest ferry. The longest ferry I went on was the longest ferry I went on was from Kamare, that one, to Nagoya. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. What was it? I'm not quite sure if the longest one I went on was Otaru to Mitsuru, or if it was, I know I'm pronouncing these names wrong, from Hokkaido, Tomoko or whatever it's called, through to Nagoya. I think that was the longest one because I never got off at Sendai. So I did, and that was a 2-day trip. But the one I'm doing with this one is 24 hours. So the one I'm doing now is 24 hours. So, is 24 hours enough for you, or do you want something a bit longer? If you want something longer, I don't know. The longest trip you can do is 2 days. Oh, you want a 24-hour ferry? Well, the one I'm doing is 24 hours, so there you go. Hokkaido to Tokyo is 24 hours. If you want the newest ferry that goes for 24 hours, the Sunflower. There you go. That's it. That's the one. I can't go in onsens. I'm not allowed to go in onsens until at least November. I'm not allowed to go in any pressurized pools. I'm not allowed to go in any pools or any onsens or anything, spas or anything like that until at least November, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's a 24-hour one. Well, 23 hours, but when the boat pulls in, you don't have to get off straight away. You can stay on for another hour if you want. You can stay on for 24 hours. Yeah, so I'm not allowed to go in any swimming pool, onsen, spa, anything like that till at least November. So unfortunately, can't do that, Mr. Rimuru, Indigo, Philip. Can't do that. Not allowed to. Yeah. Not allowed to. But even with, because I upgraded to that room, so that ferry that I picked, I've ended up paying $400 instead of the $150. But when you think about it, take away the night's accommodation, it's cost me $200. I think that's all right. I think that's fine. Yeah, I have to be really careful until November. So there's a lot of things I'm not allowed to do till November. Even, for example, yesterday, I don't know how, but I cut my finger yesterday. And I bled and bled and bled and bled and bled. So I have to be really careful until November. He says, due to the medications and that I am on, unfortunately, he says. So, What do I think about Japan becoming too expensive for locals doing domestic tourism? I don't think locals do domestic tourism, so I don't think it bothers them, to tell you the truth. All of the Japanese people I know don't travel domestically, so I don't think it bothers them, to tell you the truth, at all. So yeah, I really don't think. And I think that some of the locals are a bit peeved off in certain areas that are becoming touristy, because the prices are going up in some places that are becoming touristy. For example, Ueno, as an example. Sapporo is becoming a bit touristy now, and some other places around Japan, and that is becoming touristy now, which is putting up the prices a bit. But I think, all in all, away from the tourist areas, I think Japanese don't give a rat's. I think outside of the tourist areas, the prices haven't really gone up. I think Japan is doing the right thing by starting to charge tourists more than the locals. But yeah, Shinkansen to Sapporo finish in 2030, should be. The Shinkansen, I don't think, is delayed the build. The Sapporo station's the work's going underway, pretty good. The maglev is the thing that's delayed. The maglev's being delayed in its build because of that one prefecture. However, the dude that was in power in that prefecture, he's no longer in charge now, so he's been given the flick. So it might speed up now. The build on that one might speed up. There's a new Shinkansen that should be entering. Oh, a new Shinkansen entered service last month, and then another new Shinkansen, another class of Shinkansen should be entering service pretty soon as well, which will increase the speed. Will you be doing the Sapporo Snow Festival again? Most probably not. No, don't think so. So somebody can say land in Tokyo, catch a ferry to Hokkaido, the Shinkansen slowly back down to Tokyo, doing stopovers and return via Tokyo, or buy the flight return from Hokkaido. So somebody can say land in Tokyo, yes, catch a ferry to Hokkaido, yes, then Shinkansen slowly back down to Tokyo, doing stopovers, yes, then return via Tokyo, or buy the flight return from Hokkaido. I would, if you got the money, yeah, I'd land in Tokyo, catch the ferry up to. I'd do it the other way around, because I was going to do what you were going to do. I was going to land in Tokyo and then catch a ferry up to Hokkaido, and I just found it a little bit trickier for some reason. I found it a little bit trickier, so I did it the other way around. So I would do it the other way around. I would land in Tokyo, catch a Shinkansen up to Hokkaido. That's what I'd do. I'd go that way and stop along the way. And, you know, at the beginning of your trip, you've also got the energy. So I'd do it that way. And then I'd catch a ferry down, get my energy back again, getting back down to Tokyo, then get that energy up, and then bang Tokyo again before I was ready to fly home. That's what I'd do. That's personally, well, that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm not catching the Shinkansen up, but that's what I'd do. If you were landing in Tokyo and then catching the ferry, I think that would defeat the purpose, because the idea of the ferry, I think, is to get your energy back. If you're just landing in Tokyo, you've got the energy, so why not catch a Shinkansen and burn your energy off and then catch a ferry back? That's what I'd do, personally. That's what I'd do. Yeah. No, I have no plans on the Sapporo Snow Festival in the future yet, Ivan. But then again, I don't know what happens. Most of my trips are very spontaneous. You never know. I might like Korea an awful lot, that I might want to explore that more. I don't know. So, because I've not been to Korea before, so, you know, I might see Seoul. I'm only in Seoul for a very short period of time. Oh, that's it. Somebody asked me about my trip. Shit. The itinerary. I might be in Seoul. I'm only in Seoul for a short period of time, so I might want to spend some more quality time in Seoul. The fog today was crazy, Sam. I was under Leech Highway. It doesn't mean much to you. I was under Leech Highway Bridge, and I couldn't even see Leech Highway Bridge. It was so bad. Somebody asked before about my trip, and I didn't even tell you. So I will be in Seoul on the 16th of July. I will be at the DMZ on the 17th. I will be leaving Seoul on the 18th for Busan. I will be leaving Busan on the 22nd, catching a ferry, overnight ferry. I'll be arriving in Hakata on the 23rd of July. I'll be staying in Hakata overnight because I want to go to Team Labs. I love Team Labs. I'll be leaving Hakata on the 24th, heading to Sapporo. From Sapporo, I will be leaving Sapporo on the 20... Oh my god, I've forgotten. When am I leaving Sapporo? 29th? Leaving Sapporo on the 29th. Arriving in Tokyo on the 30th. And then I'll be at the baseball on the 1st. And I will also be... And apparently I'm in the supporters area. So I've been told I have to cheer. I've been told I have to cheer because I'm behind the goal or something. I don't know. I'm behind something. And then I'm also going to Jubilee something or other. Jubilee something or other. I don't know. That's what I'm doing. That's my plan. Sorry, I should have told you all that before. Should have told you that before because somebody asked. And that is my itinerary booked and done. Done, dealed, and done. Now the weird thing is as well, if you are catching, this is how Japan is so weird compared to Australia. If you book this, you do have to book it in Japan. Well, like if you want the special, you got to book it in Japan. You got to book it via phone. If you want to book a ticket and not get the special, you can just book it online, but you have to pay online. But if you want the special, you have to book it via a telephone number in Japan. If you book it via the telephone number, they take no money from you at all. You pay on the day. So I've reserved today, and I've given them no money, and they're just like, oh yeah, just pay us on the day. It's like, what if I don't show up? It's like, yeah, you'll show up. Just pay us on the day. It's like, you're going to trust me to arrive? It's like, yeah. It's like, but what if I don't arrive? It's like, yeah, you will. We trust you. It's like, what? Japan is very trusty. Very trustworthy. Good on Japan. No, the Jubilee thing in Tokyo. I've got a couple of Jubilees. Dr. Yellow Train is in the Nagoya Train Museum. Yes, it is, Sam. You have been keeping up on your train information. Very good. Yes, it is. Dr. Yellow, now no longer. Dr. Yellow, now retired. Yes, he says. And I'm hearing banging, like explosions. Oh my god. And the bullet train I'll be going on in Korea, in fact, is slowly being retired as well. So there we go. I'll be going on a antique. I got that. I'm going first class on that. Why not? He says, why not? So my whole trip now is booked. All my hotels are booked. All my flights are booked. Everything is now booked. Done. Complete. The only thing I have to buy, and I don't know where to get them from, is I need to buy some really cool animal wooden coasters round for a friend of mine. You met Dr. Yellow. That's good luck if you met Dr. Yellow. It'll be good that it's in the museum now, because now you'll be able to go in Dr. Yellow and see exactly what was in Dr. Yellow. So that's pretty good. I will be very interested to go into Dr. Yellow. How much spending money? I have roughly 2,000. I say roughly because that could go down a little bit between now and then. Might go up a little bit, might go down. Let's say 2,000. Every bullet train is now Dr. Yellow. Yes, it is. Yes. Yes. Technology has changed. I hate it when technology changes and things go away. It's like, there's certain things you just want to keep going and going. Do you know, I don't know about you, but you know, the first time I went to Japan, I never knew nothing about Japan. I honestly thought when I first went to Japan, and I was disappointed. I was really disappointed because I thought that the only bullet train operating in Japan was the O series. And when I went to Japan and there were no O series running, I was so disappointed. If you don't know what an O series is, it is this little baby. Oh my god. Does this open? No, it doesn't open. I thought that this was the only bullet train I was ever going to see. And this is what I was hoping to ride on. I've been in one of these, but I've never ridden on one of these. And when I went to Japan and I saw all these other bullet trains, I was so disappointed. This was like my dream to go on this little baby. So I've been on it. I've just not ridden on it, unfortunately. The O series. As long as I don't buy any Audi specials. No, I haven't bought anything from Audi for like years. I've lost the will of Audi. It doesn't interest me anymore. Anything good luck happen apart from Operation? Good luck who? What? For Misha? Oh, for you? Operations are good luck because it means that they're fixing the problem. I bought some tech lately though. I bought this. That was pretty cool. I bought that. That was. Used to love Audi, yeah. I've grown out of Audi. I've grown out of the love of Audi now. Yeah. I don't buy as much random stuff now. He says. And since my brain operation, my whole thinking is completely different. My whole yeah. But but I am on medication at the moment. May I say? I am on medication at the moment. So my vision's a little bit different. My head still does hurt, but again, it's through something else different. And yeah, I don't know. My two housemates look after Bella while I'm away, and the condition is they look after Bella and they don't pay rent. So that's the deal they get. So of course they like free rent, so they look after Bella. So that's the deal with that. I don't know. You tell me. Have I got my head? Is my head shaking? I shouldn't be drugged up. The stuff I'm on should not be drugging me up, but it should be keeping me alive at the moment. The medicine I have to be on till November, and the instruction is you must take this medicine. You must not take this medicine. If you stop taking this medicine, you will die, because you will get a severe blood clot and you will die. So yes, basically it's blood thinners. So that's why, for some reason, for no reason at all, I just got a see that cut? I don't know where that came from yesterday, just that cut. And I bled and bled and bled and bled and bled, and it just would not stop. It was crazy. So I'm anticoagulants and high dose aspirin. So yeah, that's why I can't go in spas or pools or anything like that at all. Got to be careful till November. And I'm on the other medication, which I'm increasing over the next couple of weeks, which I'll be on for the rest of my life, which is to do with the migraine thing. And yeah. So it's a whole new world. It's a whole new life, he says. It's a whole new life. Hello, Pauline. Pauline, we were just showing the ferry we are going on. The ferry we're going on. Let's show Pauline. Let's show Pauline. So I just want to show her the deluxe room. I know you guys have seen it, but Pauline, this is a ferry, for goodness sake. A ferry. We're not in this room. But have a look at this. Look at that. For a ferry, for goodness sake. Ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, the room we've got is this room in the ferry. With a nice little window there. Television, toilet, and 3 complimentary Japanese people in the room. But, Pauline, how good would this room have been? Because this room, I could have taken Bella in this room. Oh my god, look at this. Crazy. And even had a doggy pram in it. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, yeah, that's going to be my, ferry room. So yeah, so it's a special they have at the moment in Japan. And sorry everybody, I know you've all seen it, but as Pauline's new here, so she doesn't have to watch the whole stream again. So basically, there's a special at the moment where it gives you 2 buses and the ferry and the room and food. So you get a bus from Sapporo Station, an express deluxe bus. You get the bus, 2-hour bus ride, then the ferry, then the bus ride to Tokyo, and you also get the food, and all at a reasonable price, he says. So there we go. I just had a message come in. Let me just check it. But it all had to be booked in Japan. So my Japan friend in Tokyo arranged that for me tonight. And very weird, as I say, because they take your name. And they go, yeah, no worries, it's booked. Okay, well, here's my money. And the company says, nah, pay on the day. What do you mean pay on the day? Yeah, just pay on the day. But what if I don't show up? And they're like, why wouldn't you show up? So because I'm Australian. In Australia, people just don't show up. And the company's like, but we're a Japanese company, and like only Japanese people travel with us. And if a Japanese person says they're going to show up, they show up. So why wouldn't you show up? It's like, well, I'm going to show up. And they're like, well, okay then. But have you ever heard anything like that before? It's like, I booked. And they're like, yeah, don't give us any money now. Don't worry. Give us it on the day. What? It's like your ship is going to sell out. There's going to be no spare rooms. And if I don't show up, it's going to muck you up. Because you're going to have a room that nobody's going to be in. And you're not going to take the money now. No. On the day. It's fine. What? Weird, isn't it? Weird. It's so weird. Again, like, no matter how many times I've been to Japan, I still can't get over the fact of what a completely different world it is to our country. And how bad our country is, and how shocking we are as a country and people, and that, you know, there was a thing today that, you know, every day at least one person is charged for assaulting or bashing up a shop worker, a shop assistant worker in Perth. At least one person is charged every single day. Pretty bad, isn't it? And then in Japan, you've got a company going, okay, you book 2 buses and a ferry and food, pay us on the day. We trust you. It's crazy. It's a completely different world. It's a completely different world. So I don't know. Anyway, that ferry is better than the Spirit of Tasmania or P&O, Sam. It really is. So there we go. At least people don't drive through a shopping centre. If you don't know, that happened in Melbourne. Melbourne is off the Richter scale for crime. It is just absolutely ridiculous. A car drove through a shopping centre, and again, the police never caught them. The police never catch them in Melbourne. The police go, "Oh, we've got the CCTV footage. We'll catch you sometime." I'm lost for words. I'm just absolutely lost for words. A high-speed police chase went through a shopping centre in Melbourne. 4-wheel drives, smashing doors, driving through, and the police never catch them, ever catch them. I'm just, yeah. Shout out to Melbourne, represent. Oh my God, it's just, I don't get it. The driver was arrested today. The driver should have been arrested then. The driver should have been arrested before it happened. Just like that dude that was in the red car that day that drove on the footpath and killed all those people should have been arrested the day before that happened. Just absolutely. Melbourne's off the Richter scale. But Australia's off the Richter scale. We've got country. When are Australians going to learn? There's countries in the world that are killing each other at the moment with bombs and guns and all sorts of crap that's going on. And we've got stupid idiots in Australia. HBF today in the government has approved ecstasy and MDMA in this country. Oh, for mental illness. Oh, you know, let's take away the stigma of mental illness and let's give them the drugs for free. This country is off the Richter scale. It's off the Richter scale. And it's because there's no consequences. There's absolutely no consequences. Australians need to absolutely grow up and appreciate the fact that they are ever so lucky because they could be in a country where bombs are dropping on them. But they're in a country where they can sit on their ass and get a pocket full of government money and do absolutely nothing in their life. But, anyway. The ferry ride is before and after Korea, both in fact, because from Korea I'll be catching a ferry from Korea to Japan. I'll be going from Busan in Korea through to, where am I going? Oh my God, where am I going? To Hakata in Japan. So I'll be catching an international ferry. I'll be doing that. So I'll be leaving Busan on the 22nd of July. Arriving in Japan on the 23rd of July. And I've done this, and I do these silly things. Well, they're not silly things because it's a night's accommodation. So rather than paying for an airfare and accommodation, you pay for the ferry, which is like the price of the airfare, if you know what I mean. But it's your accommodation. That's why I do these things. So I leave Busan on the 22nd of July on a nighttime ferry to arrive in Hakata, Japan on the 23rd. So that's the ferry that I do there. And then in Japan, I'll be catching the ferry on the 29th for the nighttime accommodation to arrive in another part of Japan on the 30th. So from Sapporo 29th to Tokyo on the 30th. So 2 ferries. The 29th to the 30th is the special they have, the super special. So that's why I've done that. And the other one, of course, is to save on getting an airfare and a hotel. I'm just getting the ferry, so that's why I've done that one. That's why I've done that. More people should do that, because you save money that way. Ooh, what about that? There we go. People can stop a war, and Australia can't stop a teen, exactly. Permanent pill testing centres open in Fitzroy. They shouldn't be testing pills. If people are stupid enough to take them and they overdose, well, so be it. Drugs are supposed to be illegal in this country. Why are we testing pills and that to make it safe for them? We shouldn't. They're supposed to be illegal. You take drugs, you should be bloody locked up. Or bloomin' put a noose around your neck and dangled from the tree at the local park and shown to the world, and then people will stop doing these things. It really shits me when you have them caught in places like feral Bali, and then they go, you know, poor them. No, it's not poor them. It's not poor them. I'm absolutely fed up with it. I really, really am. It's just pathetic. They need some serious, you know, if they actually had some serious consequences here, people would stop doing it. If they actually made an example of some of these absolute dickwads, people would stop doing it. This country is piss weak. The ferry does have cars on it. Yes, it does. And trucks. And buses. And motorbikes. And push bikes. And used to have trains on it. In the old days, used to have trains on it. In case you never knew. In the old days. Catch you later. I won't be live later because I am going to be cooking my Korean steak again, Pauline. Oh my God, I am addicted to my Korean steak I've been making lately. It is sensational. I didn't have it last night, but I'm having it again tonight. Oh my God, it's so good. Enjoy your steak. Do you like Korean cuisine? Don't know, never had it. And my Korean steak isn't really Korean. It's what's in my app. And what's in my app will not be what it says. Like the Japan stuff in my app is not really Japanese because it's an English app that I'm using. It's from the Sorted YouTube channel. It's the app I bought off them. Cost me $100 for the app. Best $100 I ever spent. Their app is insane. Ever since I had their app, my diet has got so much better. I've eaten so much good food from that app. That app is insane. You can try it free for a month. You should all try the Sorted Food app. It is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, he says. The stuff I've cooked from it is just brilliant. I enjoy it muchly. But, yeah, I don't know Korean cuisine. Well, I paid for the year. The year is $100. A month, I think, is like $9 or something. But you can try it free for a month. And it talks to you. It's great. It talks you through every single step. And you can pick how many people you're cooking for. It also uses any leftover or waste in other menus. So, for example, if I pick... Let's just pick any random thing. I don't know. Let's pick roast salmon with spice bean squash, so it comes up in the thing. But listen to this, right? Step by step. Here we go. Cook now. Step by step.
Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius and line a tray with tin foil.
And then you do that. Next.
Peel and cut half a butternut squash into bite-sized chunks. We'll use the other half in another recipe this week. Tumble them into a large mixing bowl.
And then you do that. And it's got the picture and it shows you how to do it. Next.
Drain one 400-gram tin of cannellini beans.
Anyway, you get the hint. So it literally takes you step by step. And then if there's timers, it'll come up with the timer. It'll say, okay, start the timer. And then when the timer's up, it'll tell you the timer's up. Walks through every individual step. It is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. No, it's the actual voices of the people that's on the YouTube channel. It's absolutely brilliant. And there's like thousands of recipes on there. Plus it's got the pictures, the diagrams, it's got videos on there. And it literally takes you through step by step by step. And as I say, it does the shopping list for you. It uses all the waste products. You can cook for 1 person, 2 persons, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 10 people you can cook for. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Anyone surprised the volcano erupted in Bali again? Nope. Yeah, Sort of Food YouTube channel is pretty good. Yeah, I watch it all the time. They're pretty good. Yeah. But when I tried their app as a free trial, because you get the free trial for a month. I didn't think I'd like it, but yeah, no, I was so addicted. Then I started paying month by month, $9 for a month. Then I started using it so much, I thought, no, bugger this, I'll pay for the year. So I just pay for the year. And yeah, no, it's absolutely brilliant. And I've made some cracking meals with so minimal ingredients, and you sort of go, how does this taste so good with such little ingredients? It's ridiculous. Like the Korean steak I made the other day, it has bugger all ingredients in it. It tastes so yummy. Oh my god, where is it? Last week. I'll show you the picture if I can. That's what it... Sorry, it's blurry, I know, but it's because the phone's too bright. So, for example, one serve. In a bowl, okay, write this down quickly. Grab a pen. In a bowl, you mix this together. So this is a sauce, okay? This is for one person. 1 clove of garlic. Now, I just use the jarred stuff, okay? The stuff already made. 1 clove of garlic, 5 grams of ginger, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, half a tablespoon of gochujang, half a tablespoon of honey, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, and you mix that all, and then you mix that all together, okay, and put that aside. Then separately, you get a broccoli head. Half a broccoli head, and you separate the florets of broccoli and put that in a baking tray. And then with the broccoli, you put 1 tablespoon of sesame oil on it, chuck it in the oven until it starts to go brown and crunchy. Okay. Then in a really hot fry pan, you get your steak. I used iSteak. It says sirloin steak here. And you put some oil on your steak and season it with salt. Fry your steak however you like it. It says here like 2 minutes each side. Then when your steak's ready, take the pan off, and then the sauce you made, put that in the pan and cover your steak. Take your steak out, put it on a board. Okay, once it's covered in the sauce. Leave the sauce in the pan. Have your steak resting. Then you get one of those, you know, the brown rice that's already made, the microwave rice. You get one of them. Stick it in the pan with the sauce. Heat it up for like 3 minutes, but put the broccoli in the pan as well. Heat that up. Once it's ready, 3 minutes later, chuck it on a plate. Slice up your steak. Stick it on there. Sesame seeds on top, spring onion scattered on top. Dude, it's heaven. It's heaven. Hope I explained that well. Can flights leave Bali? My nephew is there for what? Yes, they can leave Bali. Yep. Yes, they can. They can, yes. They are fine. Oh, yes. That's one place I'd never want to go there. Bali. Oh my god, you could never get me to go to Bali. I'm going soon, by the way. It's starting to be cold. Okay. Final drinks, anybody? Anybody wish to say anything before I go on my merry ways? Anyone want to say anything or tell me a story or anything like that? Don't think I have anything else to tell you. Well, volcano eruptions look very good. But, well, in Kagoshima, of course, the double volcano is permanently erupting. So I've seen the volcano down there erupt many times, because I've been down there many times, and yeah, it looks very cool, Sam. As I've sat down there on the volcano eating my ice cream many times, especially when all of a sudden it just goes, because it's always erupting very slowly, but then every now and again it just goes boom, and you go, oh, that's a big one. Yeah, so it does. Looks pretty cool. Very cool indeed. The big volcanoes. No, Victor's staying with me. We booked a hotel because Victor's at university, and in Korea you stay in the university, so he's in campus. So we're staying at a hotel. He's coming out of campus and staying in a hotel. So we booked a hotel in Korea. Because in Korea, he apart from university, they also have to do compulsory military, which they should have to do in Australia as well, which we used to, but they should have to do it again. So in between university, he has to do compulsory military in case they need to go to war with North Korea. Yes, but I've also got my travel insurance. Make sure when you travel, you always got travel. If you travel and you never have travel insurance, you should never travel. There should be a law to say that if you don't have travel insurance, you should never be allowed on a plane. You should never, ever be allowed to travel if you never have travel insurance. So I've got my travel insurance as well. That's done. Yeah, anyway, never know. This trip may never ever happen because it could be World War III by the end of this week, the way it's going, with Iran and all that sort of stuff going on. Who knows what's going to happen, hey? Oh my God, the nuke. It's kind of like a catch-22, isn't it? Because if they send off the nukes, it could be a bit of a problem. If Donald Trump bombs where the nukes are, there's still going to be a nuke fallout. So whatever happens, there's going to be a nuke fallout. Either way, there's going to be a nuke fallout. So, you know, I do understand that something's got to be done. They've either got to bomb them or something's got to be done. So either way, there's going to be a nuclear fallout, one way or the other. So anyway, we'll see what happens. As long as China and Russia don't get involved, I think we'll be okay. So anyway, new rule coming is you got to have medical insurance for Japan. That's great. If that's coming in, I always have. I mean, you would be mad. Yeah, that's great. You'd be mad. I've always got fully comprehensive, and that you would be absolutely mad if you don't have insurance. So I always have, but that's great if they're bringing that in. Are you talking, clarifying this? So fully comprehensive, would that cover it, or are they talking additional insurance on top of that? Can you clarify that a bit more? But that's great. Well, if this goes, like if Donald Trump gets involved in this war, we will be involved in this war because we're an ally of America, and unfortunately China is going for the opposite team in this in this thing that's going on. So yeah, this one could get a little bit messy. Apparently Russia has been speaking to Trump though and said, you know, like, okay, you know, we'll stay out of this. Whatever happens, we'll stay out of this one. But yeah, just medical. Yeah, see, I don't mind paying it. I don't mind doing that. I think during the COVID times when you travelled, because you travelled just after the COVID thing, because you got the visa and to travel, we had to get the medical thing then, didn't we? From memory, I think we had to have didn't we have to get the special insurance or something then? I think we did. I could be wrong. Maybe my memory is fading after my brain operation. I'm pretty Maybe Japan never made us get it, but I think we had to get it with the insurance. I don't know. So anyway, I don't mind. I would prefer to be over-insured and covered than not insured. Because at the end of the day, with medical insurance and that anyway, what are you talking? You're talking a couple of $100. You know? So be it. So be it. I would prefer to pay a couple $100, and even if it went up a little bit more, I'd prefer to pay it and just be covered than, you know, not. And especially at the moment, oh my God, especially at the moment, I think back of how long that I could have had the aneurysm in my head thinking, you know, all the things that could have gone wrong. But luckily, as I say, I've always travelled with travel insurance, so yeah. The ERFS included help and you had to have medical, yeah. I only ever got medical until recently. Yeah, I mean, as long as you got medical, that's the main thing. I think I did one trip where I only ever had medical. Because I was on a tight budget, but I've always had medical. I mean, the luggage and that was never important, but the medical always was. You know, and again, if you don't have insurance for medical, you should not be allowed on a plane. How many times do you hear of these bogans going to Bali and then they get on Channel 7 and they go, oh, we had an accident because we rode a motorbike and we didn't have a helmet on the head, and oh, we can't afford it. It's like medical alone is what, $60 or something, $50, $60. Like, come on, seriously? If you can't afford that, you shouldn't have hopped on a plane in the first place. You know. But because of all this going on, I made sure I got like the best of the best of the best cover for this particular trip I'm going on this time around. You know, because even though I've been operated on, you know, just in case I bleed or anything like that, because I'm a bleed risk at the moment. But yeah. But no, that's good if they're cracking down. The bit that annoyed me, and I will say this, you know, I didn't know the guy, so I will say this. The bit that annoyed me was, and I'm not sure if you knew this, like that Tokyo Drew, people were giving him money for his medical because he was doing the whole, oh, you know, woe is me, I've got no money for my medical. Do you know, he was spending the money on other stuff. He wasn't even putting the money towards his medical. That's the bit that chipped me about it. You know? Yes, he had to pay. He wasn't covered. That was the point. He wasn't covered, and he had to pay this money, but the money people were giving him was not going to the medical. That was the point. And it was like, that's so wrong. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's basically what happened with him. You know, he was pretty much the same thing. So, you know. It's, yeah. Yeah, and I've got no sympathy or pity for them whatsoever. Insurance has saved my bum a few times, not with medical, but like I had my money stolen once. I had my luggage go missing once because the driver lost my luggage. You know, I've had a few things where I've had to claim on insurance. And again, you're not talking a lot of money. So, you know, especially if you're going to Bali, you're definitely not talking a lot of money. If you can't afford that little bit of money for insurance, you should not be allowed on the plane. You should not be allowed on the plane until you show that you've got insurance whatsoever. You know, if you can afford to jump on a plane and go to Bali to get pissed, then you can afford... I think the cheapest insurance you can get is like $50, $60 or something. It's not expensive. So, you know, there's no excuses whatsoever. It should be compulsory. And if Japan is bringing it in that it's got to be compulsory, that's terrific. That's absolutely terrific. I remember when Japan brought in one of the rules, I think it was you had to show your vaccine certificate or something originally. I think it was that. I remember all these Australians. I went on one flight to Japan. This was in the very early days of when they opened their borders. And there were Australians there going, I don't have to do this. I'm an Australian. And the Japanese were like, bye, you're going home. You can't make me go home. I'm an Australian. And they're like, yes, we can. I just showed your video on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. That's why I'm not messaging at the moment. I'm on YouTube. You have to teach me this song. That's my friend. I have to learn this song because apparently I'm in the cheer section for the baseball game. So, yeah. Yeah. But they were like at immigration going, you know, I'm Australian. I don't have to do anything you tell me to do. And they're like, we're Japanese and you're in Japan and we can tell you anything we like because you're not going to enter the country unless you do what we tell you to do. You can't make us. Yeah, bogans. Aussie bogans. You know. But that's okay. I have avoided going to Osaka, so I am happy. And it looks like I will be avoiding them at the baseball game as well, because I'll be sitting with a lot of Japanese people singing or chanting. Do you know, see you, Ivan, do you know they have a chant section? You're only allowed to chant if you're in a certain section in the stadium? I don't know. So he bought chanting seats? I don't know. Yeah, this is true, Sam. Well, people don't take responsibility for their actions, I would say. Not so much dummies, but people don't take responsibility for their actions. That's what it is. So I don't know. But anyway, on that happy note, I'm going to go and make my Korean steak again. Frigging yummy. That's what I'm going to have. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Don't forget, we've got a little PayPal thing there. If anybody's watching us a little bit later on, you'd like to buy us a drink. That's it there. Very good. Thanks for joining us. Hope you did enjoy the looking at the ferry. If you do want any information about the ferry, though, please do let me know. Because I have caught them before. I know I was just dribbling and most probably confusing you during the stream. I'm more than happy to give you information. There is a blog on NipponPulse.org, the website already for the ferry that I caught before. So do have a look at the website because the videos of the ferries that I caught last time are already on the website. You can go check that out at NipponPulse.org. Do check it out. There's I think 4 or 5 or 6 videos on there already, so go check them out. And do check it out. Apart from that, good night to all of you. And we will end with the wonderful advert. Wherever you are in this big, wide, wonderful world, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. We'll see you again soon on the NipponPulse YouTube channel. Arrivederci. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. No, that's wrong. See you soon. ありがとうございます。